Guys, my name is Ethan, Netflix Gamer, and today I want to talk to you about a company I reckon Netflix should add to its growing company. Now, for those who don't know, there's a company called the Dr. Seuss Enterprises, which obviously holds the rights to the Dr. Seuss library of characters and stories that was written by, I believe his name is Theodore Seuss, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss, back during his lifetime, obviously before he passed away in I think it was 1991 he passed away. Now, why do I reckon Netflix should buy this company now? Because first of all, they're not even a game company, so why am I suggesting Netflix buy a book publisher to expand their game division? Well, let me explain it like this. Dr. Seuss Enterprises has some really well-known IPs, including The Grinch, The Lorax, The Cat in the Hat, and stuff like Horton Hears a Who. Now, those titles alone may not seem like much, but they could be huge when it comes to gaming, film adaptations, TV, spin-off novels, and in some cases as well, we could potentially see more and more content based on them added to Netflix, including the original stories themselves. Netflix obviously has the ability to monetize so much content now that they could easily add books to their service alongside the Roald Dahl stuff and the Millerworld comics. But personally, I kind of feel like Netflix should buy the Doctor Enterprises for the IP, for the notoriety of the IP, and how they could easily throw that stuff onto Netflix games, into games like almost a Dr. Seuss Grinch game where you play as Grinch and obviously you steal Christmas and you have to go on the missions to fix things and save Christmas after you've destroyed it. I would play that. I think that'd be a huge popular game with kids and it would expand Netflix's games offering, especially when you consider Netflix game doesn't really have many games for kids. I kind of feel like it'd be a win-win for Netflix and its consumers. For Netflix, people who use Netflix games as a way to play video games would obviously get more choice on what to play, and their kids would obviously get more options to play as well. Now, besides that, obviously you got stuff like the Cat and the Hat, which you could do like a bunch of adventure games with, a bunch of educational games with. The Cat and the Hat's easily an IP that you could do so many different sort of games with. It's kind of the Doctor Who's IP that has the most potential when it comes to gaming. So why not? Then you got stuff like the Lorax, which Lorax is obviously another one which would be a huge little thing, which could obviously teach kids about recycling and whatnot. You could use that to make educational games. There's quite a few IPs within Doctor's portfolio that you can do it with. Not to mention you've got the film adaptations, TV adaptations, obviously the actual books themselves, which currently have sold over 600 million copies across all titles. There's just so much there, really, that makes Netflix's game, well, which kind of makes Doctor's Enterprise really worth acquiring for Netflix. And the ability to just keep growing Netflix as a brand and Netflix out of just being a streaming service is also another huge factor in why I feel like Netflix should do such a thing. Because obviously you get the IP, you can also add obviously books to Netflix if they wanted to make the games. Obviously, they could also obviously capitalize on merchandising opportunities for these characters. Like the Lorax is a huge character now, so is the Grinch, and obviously there's just money to be made. There's just a lot of money to be made here. And the Doctor Enterprise is only like a 15-person company, so Netflix could easily acquire them. Obviously, they're a privately owned company, so they probably wouldn't cost too much. So you could easily acquire them and kind of merge them with a Roald Dahl story company and obviously launch their own book publishing division using those books. But that comes down to see what happens in the future. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you think Netflix should buy Doctor Enterprises? Would you play a Grinch game or a Lorax game? Like, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. You know, I've been Ethan Netflix Gamer. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.